Hello, peoples. It is another Wednesday of Most Influential Women, so let's go ahead and jump into it, shall we? Let's get inspired and, learn something new. Yay! Alright, cool. Let's see what we got.
Get up off your knees, girl. Stand face to face with your God. Find out what you are. Hello, my name is human. Hello, my name is human. And I came down from the stars. Hello, my name is
Hey guys, so I would like to introduce you to Miss Maryam Elizondo, a bioengineer. Now, she thinks that she's just a little bit too stubborn because she happens to be a really hard worker. Me personally, I see that as a great characteristic, but I'm also a little too stubborn, so a little biased. So, given that she actually entered the MDPhD program at a major medical center in Houston after earning her bachelor's degree from the Rice Department of Bioengineering, it seems like she might be a little bright, but in a good way. Now, let's back it up just a little bit. She was born in the Rio Grande Valley, and she learned English in 2nd grade. So Spanish was her first language. It allowed her to go through her father's medical school textbooks from Mexico. Now, after the thrill of being accepted to Rice University, Elizondo was confronted with picking a major, but she wasn't sure what major she wanted. Her father had gone from high school to med school, and it was pointed out to her that she excelled in biology and physics, and even loved robotics club. So her physics teacher suggested bioengineering. And although she agreed that it was a perfect fit, by the time that she arrived on the campus, she was told that there's a lot of people that drop out because it's just so hard. So she said, in fact, the freshman in me wouldn't believe that 4 years later I now have my bachelor's degree in bioengineering. Maybe I was just being stubborn. She attributes much of her early success to the Rice Emerging Scholars Program, RESP, which assists freshmen from high schools that provide limited college preparation. The students spend the summer getting ready for the academic rigors of a top university, which is wow. I know that not a lot of high schools have that kind of opportunities. So that's really, really awesome. In addition to learning college level organization and study skills, the RESP experience was an eye-opener for her. They are all very bright students who are accepted to Rice. What was surprising, or maybe not so surprising, was that bright students that happened to come from high schools with limited college prep also happen to be underrepresented minorities. Now, however, a strong upside to the makeup of the RESP group is the confidence that the participants gain throughout the summer. When you are in a group that looks like you, it is easier to express your opinions. Your confidence grows when you notice that people are listening to you and really take your ideas seriously. Another inspiration was bioengineering professor Dr. Anne Satterbach, a faculty leader in the RESP program who, like Maryam, came from a small town where young women rarely went to college. She inspired Maryam with a deceivingly simple mantra: I can do hard things. In her senior year to give back, Elizondo became an RESP fellow undergraduate that assisted the faculty with each new wave of students. Now, as a RESP fellow, she gave talks on bioengineering as she was gaining a lot of expertise from her classes, and as a research scientist in the laboratory of Dr. Antonio Smikos. Given that within a year she had co-authored 2 research publications, it seems she has convinced herself that not only can she do hard things, she prefers them. Now ask Elizondo about the lab and you will get a comprehensive description of her work using 3D printing to create biodegradable polymer scaffolds for regeneration and repair of tissues, most notably bone and cartilage. Repairing bone and cartilage injuries is challenging for a number of reasons, says Elizondo. The vast majority of tissues in the body are soft. Only bone and, to a certain degree, cartilage are load-bearing hard tissues. Because they are load-bearing, repairs have to be incredibly sturdy and mimic the natural tissue as closely as possible. So we need to be able to implant a repairing scaffold that can regenerate bone and cartilage and in a configuration that matches the injured area. What that all means is they have to work really, really hard to try to make the repaired piece that they are going to replace your parts with as close to the original as they possibly can in a 3D rendering. So, Elizondo and her colleagues created a process that allowed them to 3D print a polymer scaffold while also loading live cells that are precursors to bone and cartilage without damaging the precious tissue regenerating cells. One of the novel aspects of the work was the ability to load the different cell types into the successive tiers of the scaffold so that the implant could promote bone and cartilage regeneration in successive layers, just like it is laid down in normal circumstances, for example in the knee. So Elizondo's research experience altered her and her family's plan A for her future to earn her MD and practice medicine. Becoming a PhD researcher in bioengineering, call it Plan B, was becoming increasingly exciting to her. I really like working with my hands in the laboratory and the challenge of developing a bioengineering solution to a medical problem. So, she couldn't understand how she could help patients as a medical doctor without working in the lab to develop the novel technologies needed to solve their problems. So, her answer? Plan C. What the heck, I'll do both. That's how she summed it up. So, right now, doing both might come in the form of becoming an MD, PhD, orthopedic surgeon. Now, though she hesitates just a little bit, because she heard orthopedic surgeons are generally big burly guys that get in there, break bones, get out the tools, screw them back together. One can picture her mimicking a carpenter pulling tools from her belt, measuring. Although she mentions that she is 5'4" and 115 pounds. So, her current thought on the matter isn't exactly a shocker. I think I could still play with the big boys if I put my mind to it. So as an afterthought, she suggests that she wouldn't enter the male-dominated field out of stubbornness. It's more that she is really determined to meet my goals. So she was off to start the Medical Scientist Training Program, MSTP, in Houston in June of 2020. Her advice for young women interested in biology: be resilient. It will help you develop grit that can keep you hanging on in difficult situations. If you've never coped with a tough situation, what will you do when one arises? Really, difficulties are a blessing in disguise because when the next one comes up, you can remind yourself, I can succeed in difficult situations. So, it seems clear that she has not forgotten her first mantra, I can do hard things, given to her by one of her first mentors. She's just continued to fine-tune it as she moves through the progression from being mentee to becoming a mentor. So, I don't know about you guys, but I am inspired to go ahead and get out there and start helping people and learning stuff, and I want to build something. Bioengineering always makes me want to go ahead and start breaking out my tools. Alright, so what has this inspired you to go ahead and do? Is there anything that you are just so stubborn, you just didn't want to go ahead and give up, and you know what? It pulled off for you. What was it? Please go ahead and leave comments, like, share this, and talk to us and let us know what is on your mind. Alright, if anybody has any kind of suggestions or thoughts, please leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great Wednesday, a great weekend, a great week, and all that other good stuff. Keep yourself in one piece, please, not 20. And I'll go ahead and I'll see you guys next week. Alright, see you later. Bye.